Welcome, everybody, to this month's edition of our Wellness Works newsletter and blog. I'm excited to showcase a little bit of information today all about the evaluation of wellness programs. I mean, what perfect timing. We're talking about the end of the calendar year already. So, thinking back to all of those efforts, you know as well as I know, it's not easy to do. But looking back at the efforts of your wellness strategy, various initiatives you may have chosen to implement, how do they go? So we're going to dive right in today. This is perfect timing as well. We just finished our fourth leadership series workshop and webinar the end of last month. So hopefully you also had a chance to take a look at that. So when it comes to evaluation, a few things to consider. Um, when it comes to an evaluation of a wellness strategy, we have to keep that word strategy in mind. It involves measuring, yes, the effectiveness of the program, but we also have to look at from an employee health perspective, engagement perspective, and then the third level is the organizational outcome perspective. So a strong evaluation looks really at two different elements. One is the process evaluation. So how was it implemented? And then the second one is the outcome. What was achieved? So those are the main elements I'd like to dive in today and showcase and share a few ideas for you. So let's talk about process evaluation. How well was it implemented? First question, how well was the program actually delivered? So a few things to think about that. Timing of year, was it inclusive? You know, what were you able to entice and include as many different individuals as possible in your delivery? Keeping in mind satellite offices, shift work, ensuring that people have the ability and availability to participate. We also want to, in this process evaluation discussion, talk about a big one is focusing on participation. So how many people sign up for things? But then on the other side, how many people show up for things? And so that stat will become important as we start to tie in a few other metrics when it comes to the process evaluation piece. So just a couple of things to keep track of as evaluators, how programs are delivered, as well as participation. And then kind of keeping an eye on not only if we're seeing as an outcome, as we're seeing the same number of people participate, look a little deeper. I mean, are you covering all shifts, all satellite offices, all floors to your building? Do people know about it? So that's another element of this is what modalities are you using for messaging and communication? These are all pieces to that puzzle when it comes to our program delivery. So a couple of things that you might want to consider when it comes to this is leadership supportive as well. So there's one thing to be saying, yep, this is an important piece to our wellness and our workplace culture. But if we don't have leaders show up for various pieces, then it doesn't really lend that message. So one of the best practices when it comes to evaluation, as well as really implementation of a program and strategy, is getting cross-sectional participation and ensuring leaders are also included. So that just goes to show how impactful and encouraging it is to showcase how leaders do care about the strategy. It's not just, you know, for everybody else, so to speak. So some metrics to consider when we talk about process evaluation. The first one is enrollment rates. So how many people are showing up for things? How many people are signing up for things? And then how many people are showing up for things? That stat's critical. The other thing that sometimes we lose sight of is every single initiative, including an element of feedback, employee feedback. And that can be done quite simply. Before they leave the room, ask them to complete a quick QR code survey, 3 or 4 questions on what they thought. And that will really help guide your wellness team or wellness ambassador network to make decisions going forward. So that's really helpful. You can also include communication effectiveness. How do they hear about it? And that will also help with continuous improvement as we continue to talk about this. That's our third element. The next one is outcome evaluation. So, truly, what impact are you having? So, there's a couple of things to think about with this. One is the element of short-term and long-term results relating to engagement, participation, engagement, behavior change, and workplace performances. So, this is where we start to kind of tie in various elements of what our Wellness Ambassador Network participants are seeing visually. Are more people engaged in meetings because of the wellness strategy? Are more people excited about what's coming up? So, really observing some of those changes once a strategy is launched and then various pieces along the way. And if, again, keeping in mind that we might have a plan A when it comes to a wellness strategy, but we might need to change course or add an element to our program to keep the momentum moving. So a few key areas is we can assess health outcomes, and we can do that with looking at various elements of if stress or fitness or health or even absenteeism are affected. So getting back to our health outcomes and looking at kind of our metrics from our benefits perspective, we can start to align not only some of those costs associated with health and employee health, but also the piece around the drug classification data is a big, big element. What has shifted and what continues to shift over the years? So that's really helpful in ensuring your program is specific to some of those elements that might need to be focused in on. So if we have diabetes, mental health, if we have cardiovascular health as the one, two, and three when it comes to our drug classification data and prescription medications, then that can be really powerful information as we start to address some of those through the wellness program. So some of those are going to be long-term goals. I mean, obviously, but some of them will be short-term. So if we have a keen wellness team and they want to see some changes, really quick changes, then we'll be able to hopefully assess and address some of those as we continue. Are more people more active? I mean, as easy as it is to observe on a nice day, how many people are getting out there for going for a walk on a lunch break? How many people are doing different, encounters with getting outside, taking stretch breaks, lots of things. How many people are interested in signing up for things? So all of these are helpful. When it comes to workplace outcomes, this is kind of fun to take a look at where we're able to assess morale, retention, even engagement in some of our engagement surveys. So that can be also quite powerful when it comes to organizational impact. A couple of things to consider when it comes to health surveys. You can look at health risk assessment data. Some groups like to run these on an annual basis. It's a nice way to just kind of keep an eye on some of that health risk data. It's a nice tie-in to organizational outcome. So when it comes to all of this discussion, it's a loop. It's not just a start and finish. It's continuous improvement, and it's using what we have evaluated to continually refine and enhance a program. I mean, maybe there is a workplace wellness or health promotion award that the organization wants to consider applying for. It's a really powerful way to move that dial and to continually improve. So to improve your chances when it comes to some of that competition. So again, it's not a goal for every organization, but specifically for a wellness strategy, this continuous improvement's a big one. Gather regular feedback from people. Get that from a team meeting perspective, town hall, health and safety meetings, even one-on-one, and throughout the entire program, ensuring that you do gather feedback is a helpful piece just to, again, adjust as you go. Needs are going to change. Time of year, changes in a leadership structure, work pressures, even personal pressures can really affect a lot of different things for our people. So you might need to adjust activities accordingly. maybe doing various workshops or on-site initiatives or virtual initiatives that focus in on something that's happening within the organization is always a good way to meet that need. Recognize successes. We don't do that enough and communicate results. If we're seeing an increase in participation, in enrollment, in engagement, share that. Yell it from the rooftops. It's encouraging for others to know and to see some of the successes, and we don't do that enough, in my opinion. Um, Lastly, is looking at integrating wellness into the culture. This takes time, but it can absolutely happen. We've linked a really powerful article from Benefits Canada highlighting UBC and their wellness strategy. It's a very holistic approach, but it ties in so nicely to the culture. So I wanted to share that resource for you as well. And I hope you found this somewhat helpful in hopefully identifying a couple of, I like to call it nuggets or takeaways when it comes to workplace wellness and ensuring that the efforts that you are, continuing to do are recognized as well as evaluated, so it can keep us a little bit more motivated to keep on moving and keeping the momentum going. I hope you found that helpful. Good luck this month, and please reach out if there are any questions at all. Have an awesome